So we focused more on research of the regulatory mechanisms of the CS through an analysis of legal harmonization through practical cooperation and soft law tools, and harmonization through networks. From the findings of the research, we came up with three main conclusions. Firstly, the persisting lack of common understanding of whether harmonization is a means to an end or an end in itself. Very often, stakeholders interviewed in the course of the research identified specific aims and objectives that harmonization has been established to achieve, be it better protection of refugees in Europe, preventing secondary movements, controlling arrivals. At times, we've also heard that harmonization is really an end in itself, to make sure that asylum systems in the continent are more convergent, follow the same standards. So this is a policy question that would need to be reflected upon and analyzed a little bit further before we embark on further reforms and discussions. Secondly, there are a number of different means and forms of harmonization that all have their merits and limitations. So what we found was that legal harmonization, which is very often presented as the predominant form of achieving convergence in the SEAS, has inherent limitations, namely due to the fact that whether we talk about regulations that are directly applicable or directives that need transposition, there is inherent ambiguity in EU law. Very often provisions are the product of compromise, and that leads to national systems and frameworks that are very often widely different from one another. What we see in practical terms as a third observation is that additional means of harmonization, such as soft law tools, the work done by EASO in the development of practical guides, country of origin information and guidance, but also the existence of different networks, from EU institutional networks to academic to civil society networks, are really fora that enable the actors of the asylum field in the different European countries get together to exchange information and knowledge and to really converge in very practical terms.